An about face for the Alliant Energy Center, the sudden change of plans to allow the COVID testing site to remain open. Plus, more than 100 gallons of diesel spilling into Madison's sewer system. We'll tell you how it happened. And Ukrainian forces say they have retaken another town from the Russians as peace and ceasefire talks are set to continue. News 3 now at 10 starts right now. It's a change of plans for Dane County's COVID testing strategy. Less than a week after announcing it would be closing the Alliant Energy Center testing site, Public Health announced today the site will stay open for at least a few more months. Brad Hamilton joins us in studio with why experts say this is the right call. Brad?
Charlotte, the site was set to close this weekend, but health officials tell us that while the need is small, there is still a need for that testing. And like we've learned before, it is better to be safe rather than sorry when it comes to COVID-19. 6 days ago, Public Health announced their decision to close both their testing and their vaccine site at the Alliant Energy Center by April 3rd. But today, that plan changed.
It'll be a little reduced from what it is now, but we want to make sure that that testing capacity remains.
Yes, the Alliant Energy Center's COVID-19 testing site will remain open in a reduced role until at least June, while the vaccines will still no longer be administered after this Sunday. Now, some may wonder why this extension is necessary with cases at their current low levels. County Executive Joe Parisi responds with this.
God forbid, we were to get a bad surge and need space and need a facility where we could open up, shots again and expand testing. The Alliant Energy Center is always there.
And Dr. Jeff Pothoff with UW Health agrees.
That's never a bad thing. It's true that our cases are low. They're doing okay right now. In the back of our minds, we're looking at that BA2 subvariant.
An approach Dr. Pothoff wants all of us to take the next few months while we hopefully move on from this pandemic.
It feels good, but it doesn't mean that we, throw caution to the wind and don't do the things that we need to do to ensure that we can continue to feel good for the next several months.
A reminder, the location for the new testing site will be a little bit different than where it's been since the fall. It's now going to be located on the east lobby of the Coliseum.
And on the COVID vaccination front, people over the age of 50 could soon be getting a second COVID booster. The FDA is expected to authorize the extra shot this week. Earlier this month, both Moderna and Pfizer asked the FDA to authorize a fourth COVID shot for most adults. Experts are still divided on whether an additional dose is necessary for everyone. And around Wisconsin, the second largest UW campus is no longer requiring masks indoors. UW Milwaukee dropped its mandate today. The university is still strongly recommending them for students and staff, though. UW Madison lifted its order 2 weeks ago at the beginning of spring break. Well, let's turn things to weather now. Meteorologist Dana Fulton has your certified most accurate forecast.
Right now, things are still dry and chilly outside, but that's really going to transition as we look ahead to the next cooler temperature. Doppler track is generally pretty quiet throughout southern Wisconsin. We have some light flurries towards eastern Iowa right now. A cloudy sky building in, so temperature-wise, things will hold pretty steady for us overnight. This afternoon, we only hit 36 for our afternoon highs. We started the day off in the teens. Right now, we're at about 27 in Madison, a little warmer off to the west with that cloud coverage built in earlier. And that's really where we're going to stay for our overnight hours, only dropping down to maybe about 25 for us in Dane County. Our breeze has stayed pretty light overnight. Tomorrow, to be on our rain chances building in. We'll have the chance for showers developing in the late afternoon and evening, and that rain chance sticks with us for most of the middle of the week. We'll take a closer look at those showers in just a few minutes, Charlotte.
Thank you, Dana. Next at 10, new information tonight about the triple homicide investigation over the weekend in Milwaukee. The medical examiner has identified the victims today, but still no suspects have been arrested. The victims are 26-year-old Anthony Thompson, 39-year-old Tyrese McKinney, and 52-year-old Clarence Harris. Thompson and McKinney appear to be brothers. Acting Mayor Cavalier Johnson made an appearance at the scene.
But the fact of the matter that we have just too many people who solve disputes with guns, and too many of those people who would cause death and destruction in our city have too easy access to guns, and we need to stem the tide of that.
He went on to ask state legislators for help, calling for what he calls common sense gun reforms. New details tonight about a diesel fuel spill this weekend in Madison. More than 150 gallons went into the city's sewer drain Saturday after a semi-truck tank was punctured. This happened on Commercial Avenue. Officials say the driver attempted to protect the sewer drain by placing seat cushions in front of it, but about 150 to 170 gallons of fuel had already leaked in. The embattled leader of the Wisconsin Veterans Policy Board has now resigned. It comes amid mounting pressure to step down as he battles child pornography charges. Curtis Schmidt Jr. is charged with 3 felony counts of possession of child pornography. He has pleaded not guilty and his case remains pending. A California parole board has approved the release of a 70-year-old man imprisoned for one of the largest mass kidnappings in U.S. history. Frederick Newhall Woods and 2 other men kidnapped 26 children and their bus driver in Chowchilla back in 1976 and buried them alive in a quarry. The kidnappers demanded $5 million ransom for the release, but the captives escaped after 16 hours underground by digging themselves out. President Biden today releasing his latest budget. It focuses on more military spending and funding police departments while taxing the wealthiest Americans to help tackle the massive budget deficit. Nearly $6 trillion budget proposal for 2023 proposes a corporate tax rate increase to 28% and a billionaire minimum income tax, which would require households making more than $100 million to pay 20% of their total annual income.
A firefighter and a teacher pay more than double the tax rate that a billionaire pays. That's not right.
The president's budget also takes aim at reducing crime with more than $30 billion for community policing and law enforcement. Democratic leaders on Capitol Hill have praised the president's budget as strong and bold, but it faces an uphill battle with an evenly divided Senate. Supreme Court nominee Ketanji Brown Jackson continuing to meet with lawmakers on Capitol Hill today as she moves closer to a possible confirmation. Judge Jackson stopped by Senator Tammy Baldwin's office where the two posed for photos. The senator called Judge Jackson inspiring and says she will proudly vote in favor for her historic confirmation. A federal judge today saying former President Donald Trump and right-wing attorney John Eastman may have been planning a crime as they sought to disrupt the January 6 congressional certification of the presidential election. It is important to note the judge does not have the ability to prosecute. That decision falls to the Justice Department. And tonight, the House committee investigating the attack on the U.S. Capitol voting to recommend 2 former Trump advisors be referred to the DOJ on criminal contempt of Congress charges. The votes on former Deputy Chief of Staff Dan Scavino and Trump's one-time trade advisor Peter Navarro came after the committee filed reports last night outlining the ways in which both men evaded investigators. And we're also learning Jared Kushner will talk to the January 6th committee. According to a source, Kushner is expected to appear virtually for an interview this week. Former President Trump's son-in-law and senior advisor will speak voluntarily. Kushner's wife and Trump's daughter Ivanka Trump was in discussions last month to talk to the committee. In Florida today, the so-called Don't Say Gay bill is now law. Governor Ron DeSantis signed the parental rights in education bill banning instruction about sexual orientation and gender identity in some classrooms. The bill sparked debate across the nation after it was introduced in January. Since then, students have protested with school walkouts and demonstrations. And check this out, 4 teens broke into the Indiana State House yesterday afternoon and vandalized the House chamber. State police say 3 girls and a boy ages 13 and 14 somehow got inside the State House and drew graffiti on electronics and columns. Troopers say they received a call of the group damaging the property, chased them to the canal where they detained them. The teens were released to their families, but they could be charged later. Next at 10, Ukrainian forces have retaken a town in the eastern part of the country. It had been under Russian control in what is becoming a back-and-forth stalemate on the ground. Around the capital city of Kiev, U.S. defense officials say Russian forces largely remain in defensive positions and have been making little forward progress elsewhere in the country. More than a month after Russia invaded Ukraine, the two nations are restarting peace talks aimed at a ceasefire. The meeting comes as President Biden defended what he said about Vladimir Putin not staying in power. Skylar Henry reports from Washington.
Russia and Ukraine are slated to resume ceasefire talks on Tuesday. The sit-down will take place over 3 days in Istanbul, Turkey. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says his country would consider a neutrality agreement to achieve peace. But the Kremlin says negotiations have yet to produce any breakthroughs. Ukrainian intelligence officials believe Moscow's new goal is to split their nation in two.
Number one, I'm not walking anything back.
President Biden, meanwhile, stood by a comment he made Saturday that Vladimir Putin, quote, cannot remain in power.
I wasn't then, nor am I now, articulating a policy change. I was expressing the moral outrage that I feel, and I make no apologies for it.
Mr. Biden believes nothing anyone says has much of an effect on the Russian leader. The president says Putin doesn't even listen to his own advisors. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
The United Nations says nearly 4 million people have fled Ukraine since the war began, though it noted that the flow of refugees out of the country has slowed in the past week. And dramatic video today of a massive pile-up crash in Pennsylvania. A collision involving more than 50 vehicles closed a portion of Interstate 81. At least 3 people were killed and more than a dozen others were taken to the hospital. This crash is in the northeast part of the state, and officials believe a snow squall clouded visibility and likely contributed to the accident. Still to come at 10, when we can expect to get out of this late March cold snap. Plus, the slap scene around the world, the continued fallout for actor Will Smith, coming up next.
Tony Evers, all of them. They talk, schools close down. Police are attacked, belittled. Critical race theory flourishes. They talk. One person does something. Kevin Nicholson has organized thousands of Wisconsinites to support our police, get kids back in school, and stop crazy teaching. You want talk? Talk. Or something done? The doer is no nonsense Kevin Nicholson as governor.
Does anyone really remember who comes in second? No, they don't. That's why you've got to put it all out there and be relentless. Because to be the best, you have to elevate your game. Hy-Vee took breakfast to a whole new level with new items made fresh to order. So when it comes to the best breakfast around, they know fresh. And here's a simple takeaway. If you think you can find any better, then you don't know Hy-Vee and you don't know Jack.
You heard it was a hit. You heard it was a smash. A wonder. A phenomenon. An international sensation. But you haven't heard them.
I grew up working in my family's supper clubs. This is where it started with us as far as the fish that we serve at Culver's today. We source the finest cod and batter each fillet by hand and always cook it to order. That beautiful golden brown color and flaky on the inside. The fish fry is a Midwest tradition. It's about families coming together. I love bringing this tradition to guests everywhere. Mom and Dad would be proud. Welcome to Delicious.
There are so many things we take for granted, and along with them, sometimes we take the people who depend on them for granted too. How can they survive with record increases in their basic cost of living? And through no fault of their own, they're being left behind. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
Time to amp up your spring cleaning skills with some expert hacks.
Josh Brinder's in the 608 with the pro to break down what to keep out of your dumpster.
Another messy weather system headed towards Wisconsin. I'm tracking the rain and snow tomorrow morning from 4:30 to 7.
You're watching watching News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back. A live picture here from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. High temperatures there today in the low 80s as the spring break travel season gets into full swing. And if you are planning a trip, brace yourself for larger crowds and higher airfares this spring travel season. Experts are blaming high demand and skyrocketing jet fuel prices. Earlier this month, Delta Airlines indicated ticket fares could rise by as much as 10% to offset the sharp increase in jet fuel cost. Travel expert Willis Orlando says the conflict in Ukraine is also rerouting demand toward domestic and short-haul international destinations.
Folks who were thinking of going to Paris are now turning around and saying, no, I'm going to Cancun. So you're not going to be alone. You're going to be fighting for other folks for those fares. You're going to see bigger crowds, bigger waits for things. You're going to see higher prices for hotels and the like.
The war also delaying what airlines hoped would be the return of travel to Europe this summer. Orlando says it's spooking many away from overseas travel. Last night's Academy Awards featured historic wins and a slap that went viral. And all of that added up to big ratings for the show. According to early Nielsen numbers, the show drew an average of 15.3 million viewers for ABC. That's a 56% increase from last year's show, which brought in just under 10 million viewers, an all-time low for the awards. Much of that attention likely stemming from this. Actor Will Smith going on stage and slapping presenter Chris Rock after telling a joke about Smith's wife. Smith did issue a public apology today. It comes after the Academy Awards says it condemns Smith's actions and will explore any potential further action and consequences. Next at 10, Walmart plans to stop selling tobacco products at some of its stores in the U.S. A spokesperson for the world's largest retailer says it made the decision after looking into tobacco sales. Walmart did not say how many stores will stop stocking the products. According to the Wall Street Journal, the company is removing cigarettes from stores in various markets. Well, no matter what web browser you use, it's likely you'll need to update it as soon as possible. Google first announced a dangerous vulnerability in its Chrome browser last week. It's already known to hackers, and Google hasn't issued a fix yet. The company has announced an emergency update for its billions of Chrome users, but it could take several days to roll out. And here's meteorologist Dana Fulton with a look at our forecast.
Our very springy forecast.
Yeah,
a little soggy.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. It's March right now, right? So it's a little chilly outside. It's about to get a little rainy also. This evening we had more cloud coverage building in. Right now, mostly cloudy sky. Some light flurries in eastern Iowa. Nothing coming down in southern Wisconsin right now, but that story is going to change as we look ahead to tomorrow. Our high pressure pulling off to the east, so our breeze picking up just a little bit overnight. And our next system right now, well off to the west, it's going to gain a little more steam over the next 24 hours. The stationary front hasn't moved much today, but as we look ahead to tomorrow, this comes through the plains and pushes in scattered showers late Tuesday. The rain sticks with us through Wednesday, and it'll wrap around with some light snow before clearing off to the east on Thursday. Now, our mostly cloudy skies build in for tomorrow morning. Temperature-wise, we'll hold pretty steady overnight, so that means mid-20s for Dane County. Off to the west, could see overnight low temperatures closer to 30 for early Tuesday morning in Platteville. The light showers start to build in during our evening commute, so it holds off for most of the day. Around 4 o'clock, we have scattered showers. That continues overnight into Wednesday, and for Wednesday, we'll have scattered showers and a few isolated thunderstorms mixed in throughout the course of the day. This is midday on Wednesday. We still have rain coming down. Temperatures Wednesday afternoon will land in the mid-50s. That's our warm day for the week, and then those temperatures pull back quite a bit as we head into Thursday. By Thursday morning, notice we have a shift in our breeze, that wind coming in from the northwest, so cooler temperatures expected for Thursday. That's also going to bring in that light snow chance for us early Thursday morning, and likely continue with a few flurries for the Thursday morning commute. It doesn't lead to much accumulation, but a few snowflakes swirling around for early Thursday. Rainfall totals generally landing at about 1/2 of an inch to 3/4 of an inch. Some isolated areas could get a little closer to an inch for us. This pulls us through Wednesday at about 9 p.m. So we'll have a measurable amount of rain overnight Tuesday heading through Wednesday. After that, does transition over to light snow. Snowfall totals really landing at trace amounts for us right now. The snow won't make much of an impact, but again, could see a few snowflakes swirling around early Thursday. High temperatures tomorrow will be close to 40. It is going to be breezy outside. Wind speeds pick up a little bit. Plan on wind speeds at about 10 to 20 miles per hour with a chance of rain showers in the afternoon. late afternoon and evening. Then we transition to a warmer day on Wednesday before temperatures pull back right again quite quickly for us for Thursday. Thursday, we drop back to the mid-30s for afternoon highs with some light snow and flurries early in the day. Otherwise, just breezy in the afternoon. For Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, high temperatures will be in the mid-40s. We'll be dry on Friday, but we're right back into that soggy pattern for us on Saturday and early Sunday. For next week, high temperatures do bounce back up closer to 50, but that is going to come along with a few more rain chances. At that point, we'll be moving into April, so those April showers really line up with what we usually expect to see for this time of year, Charlotte.
Thank you, Dana. Coming up next in sports, the Packers take an off-the-field loss to the Detroit Lions. That story straight ahead.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
At Star N Bank, we think having choices is important, so you can choose the products that are right for your life. What are you waiting for? Explore the possibilities today at starnbank.com.
Finding the Honda you really want just got easier. With a longer limited warranty, so long. And complimentary oil changes within the first year. You've never been more at peace than with Honda Certified Pre-Owned.
Menards has what you need to create your ideal yard. Stop in and save 11% on everything. There's no limit to what you can create with landscape blocks. 12-inch smooth patio blocks are $125 each after 11% rebate. Keep a variety of birds coming back to your feeder with KT Seed and Suet Wild Bird Food Blend. It attracts twice as many birds as black oil sunflower without the mess. A bag is $11.99 after 11% rebate. Now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Welcome back to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, where the action's really heating up.
Yeah, Jerry, let's go down to Tina and see what's happening.
Thanks, guys. We're here with Cheryl and Greg, and they just won the huge jackpot. What are you guys going to do with all that cash?
We're going to go to Fiji.
My mom. My mom. They're going to visit Mom. Maybe they'll take her on vacation.
Oh, it looks like a great day for Cheryl and Greg.
Hey, I wish I could join them.
Don't get stuck with internet and TV that costs more and does less. Set yourself free with Spectrum and get it all from one provider. Get Spectrum Internet with enough speed for all your devices all at once with speeds of 200 megabits.
Whoa, that's fast.
Plus, get a free modem and free desktop security to keep you safe online. Get Spectrum Internet for $49.99 a month. Call 833-605-4999. And don't get stuck with the same old TV. Multiply your screens. Spectrum TV with a free Spectrum TV app lets you watch here, there, and everywhere. Stream live TV, sports, news, and more on any device. Plus, access up to 85,000 on-demand titles. Get Spectrum TV from $49.99 a month. Call 833-605-4999. Don't get stuck paying more for less. Pick and choose the services you need. Spectrum Internet or TV, or get them both for $49.99 a month each. All with no contracts. Call 833-605-4999.
Today's the day to go farther with a partner that provides you innovative solutions for your own personal financial future. Explore the possibilities today at starnbank.com.
Welcome back. Zach Hanley is off today, so I've got sports covered for you tonight. Sit tight, my friends. In Green Bay, the Packers have lost an off-the-field battle against the Lions. Announced today, Detroit was selected to host the 2024 NFL Draft, winning out over Green Bay and Washington, D.C. Green Bay has never hosted the draft. However, the event was held at the Schrader Hotel in Milwaukee in 1940. In a statement, Packers president and CEO Mark Murphy expressed his disappointment at not being selected, but said he remains optimistic optimistic that Green Bay will host the event in the future. The proposed $1.4 billion new home for the Buffalo Bills comes with a record $850 million taxpayer price tag. It's an agreement reached today to secure the franchise's future for the next 30-plus years. The $850 million amount is considered to be the largest public commitment for an NFL facility. The NFL today announcing its creation of a diversity advisory committee to review its hiring policies and practices. The NFL says the committee was created in light of ongoing concerns over a lack of diversity in hiring. Last month, Brian Flores, the former head coach of the Miami Dolphins, filed a lawsuit against the NFL and 3 of its teams for racial discrimination. It was a big job. The court for the upcoming NCAA Women's Final Four tournament is now installed at the Target Center in Minneapolis and ready for use. The handcrafted court, specially designed for the event, is made up of 262 panels that weigh about 188 pounds each. A crew installed the court in just a few hours. The wood came from maple trees in Michigan. The Women's Final Four begins Friday night with the championship game set for Sunday night. And on the men's side, it is a mega matchup between the UNC Tar Heels and their arch rival Duke, who have never played each other during March Madness. On the other side of the bracket, Kansas is the only 1 seed in the Final Four after beating Miami. The Jayhawks play Villanova for a shot at the national championship. Dana Jacobson reports.
And the fairy tale run for St. Peter's comes to an end.
With that, the clock struck midnight for the St. Peter's Peacocks.
One final huddle.
The New Jersey team made history, becoming the first 15 seed to reach the elusive Elite Eight before falling to the heavily favored North Carolina Tar Heels. The moment brought UNC coach Hubert Davis to tears.
I just desperately wanted this for them, and I love these guys so much. They trusted me in my first year. They allowed me to coach them.
North Carolina will face off against their arch rival Duke in the national semifinal for Coach K's final run. In 42 years leading the Blue Devils, he's made a record 13 Final Fours. Now he aims for his 6th national title.
It's the greatest day for college basketball, and we're honored to be a part of it.
Also heading to the Big Easy, the Villanova Wildcats, hoping to do something no school has accomplished in nearly 50 years. If they cut down the nets next week, it will be Villanova's 3rd championship in the last 6 tournaments.
It feels great to be going back to the Final Four. It never gets old. It is a dream of every player and coach in college basketball.
The banged-up Wildcats will have their hands full with the top-seeded Kansas Jayhawks, aiming for their first title since 2008.
You know, we're not done yet, and I'm not satisfied yet with this, and I know my teammates aren't either.
Dana Jacobson, CBS News.
Kansas and Villanova will play Saturday evening at 5 o'clock. Then UNC takes on Duke afterwards. The championship game is Monday. We'll be right back.
It's Terrific Tuesdays at Hy-Vee. Get chicken tenders 8 for $10. That's right, get hand-breaded chicken tenders from the Market Grill Hot Case. 8 for just $10. Tuesday only. Scan the QR code or check out HyVeeDeals.com for more deals.
No way. Garrett got the skag. Oh, look at that thing mow. I wonder if he'll let me borrow it. Yep, mower envy. I gotta get one too. The moment you know you want a skag. Skag. Simply the best.
It's Chevy Truck Month, and it's time to add the perfect accessories to your new Chevy. Make it bolder. Make it work harder. Make it your own. Find new possibilities. Find new roads. Very well-qualified buyers can get 0% financing on most Chevy pickup trucks. Plus, now during Truck Month, get a $1,000 accessory allowance toward the eligible purchase of a new Chevy truck with accessories. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Wisconsin.
Inflation has surged to a 40-year high. Democrats declared war on fossil fuels, so gasoline prices are at record levels. President Obama's chief economist says inflation is costing your family $4,000 a year. Why? Because Democrats are printing trillions of dollars to pay for their massive deficit spending. Inflation is the Democrats' tax on the middle class. I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message because I'm concerned about rising prices just like you.
PTI, I need the PDF, COB, AKA EOD. What's the ETA?
ASAP, FYI.
LMK.
HBD Gordon. HBDY.
Oh, well, look at this GIF.
It's GIF. FWIW.
ROTFL.
You see my IM?
TLDR.
What?
Too long. Didn't read.
Okay.
We don't need any more acronyms, but we could all use more ways to save.
BMX, YOLO!
Switch to Geico for more ways to save.
SMH.
There are so many things we take for granted, and along with them, sometimes we take the people who depend on them for granted too. How can they survive with record increases in their basic cost of living? And through no fault of their own, they're being left behind. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
It's Terrific Tuesdays at Hy-Vee. Get chicken tenders 8 for $10. That's right, get hand-breaded chicken tenders from the Market Grill Hot Case. 8 for just $10. Tuesday only. Scan the QR code or check out HyVeeDeals.com for more deals.
A local family's Ukrainian rescue mission, Thursday at 10. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
And finally tonight, check this out. Thousands gathered in central Tokyo today to enjoy the view of the cherry blossoms as COVID-19 restrictions imposed on the city were lifted last week. The flowers, known locally as sakura, reached full bloom in Tokyo yesterday, 4 days earlier than usual, according to the Japan Meteorological Agency. Very stunning and beautiful to look at, and at least we have that to stare at. We don't really have a lot of blossoms around here.
Right.
A little bit too early still.
Still a little too early. We still need a few warmer overnights to actually have some luck getting things popping out of the ground. For tomorrow, temperatures will be close to 40 for afternoon highs. Those overnight lows still dropping below freezing, as you can see, all the way through the weekend into the start of next week. So that at least gives us the afternoon highs to look forward to. We'll be in the mid-50s on Wednesday with scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. That rain transitions over to light snow for Thursday morning. Friday's our dry day with sunshine. And then we have some rain chances building back in for the weekend. A few more rain chances for next week, but high temperatures next week will be closer to 50.
Okay, that's where we should be.
Right, correct.
Okay, thank you very much. And thank you for joining us tonight. Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.